What's up, amigos? It's the Prodigy Maker Minute with yours truly, Chris Lewitt. As you may know, I'm the former #1 for Cornell University, pro circuit player, elite junior development coach, and author and educator, author of The Secrets of Spanish Tennis and the Tennis Technique Bible. So we've been talking about Toni Nadal and his philosophy. I'd like to share with you a little bit more from Uncle Tony. I have my notes here from the many courses that I took with Toni Nadal. And I think it's really interesting to continue what Nadal said about parents and how integral parents can be to the junior development process. And I would like to juxtapose that to what you hear from so many coaches in the US and from club owners and tennis directors. Basically, parents are told to get out of the way, to not be involved with their kids' tennis, to let the pros be the pros, let the pros do their job. You hear that a lot in the US. Let the professionals do their job. Parents, you just stay out of it. And Toni Nadal has a different approach, which I like very much. He says, for example, that parents can fill in the gap when the coaches miss details, so that if you're an involved parent and you're watching your kids' practices, you're in the know, you're informed, you can fill in the gaps when your kids having trouble with their training, or if the coach missed a detail, maybe in a group lesson. And if you're watching attentively, you can make a difference for your child. That's one example, but you never hear that in the US. Another example is Toni Nadal says you can give your kid more focused attention. Parents have time and they know their kid very well, so they can give their kid very focused attention, where sometimes a coach may have his or her attention drawn out among many children. A coach might be responsible for dozens of players, but a parent is usually focused on that one player, and they can provide very focused attention. And I think that's another very good point, advantage parent. Another thing that Toni says that I think is fascinating vis-a-vis parents is he says, you may have found a great coach. He talks about how it's hard to find a great coach. We all know it is hard to find a great coach, but he says you may have found a great coach, but it's unlikely the coach you found has the same passion and the same motivation to help your kid as you do, the parents. That's a direct quote from Toni Nadal. I'll read it again. He says, you may have found a great coach, but it's unlikely the coach you found or the coach you find has the same passion and motivation to help your kid as you do, the parents. And it's so refreshing to hear that wisdom from Mallorca, from the Spanish legend, Toni Nadal, because here, at least in our culture, the American tennis culture, that is rare advice and rare wisdom. You don't hear that common sense here. Parents are pariahs. Parents are told to get out of the way. Parents are shut out of the clubs. Parents are blocked from watching the lessons. And I just think that's a real shame. I prefer the opinion and the approach of Uncle Tony, the wisdom from Mallorca, from Spain. And he believes very strongly that parents can play an important role. Parents can fill in the gaps. Parents can provide more focused attention. Parents often have the most passion, the most motivation. They're the most committed, And basically, Tony's saying that parents have value. Parents have an important role to play in junior development, and they can help junior development a lot. And you just don't hear that here. And it's not a message you hear very frequently here in the US, unfortunately. So I would submit that to you guys. I like the way Tony does it. I like the way he sees parents. After all, remember, Toni Nadal did that with Rafa. He was part of Rafa's family. He wasn't his dad, but he was his uncle. And he's basically saying, you can be like me. You can have the same commitment and passion that I gave to my nephew. You can do that with your kid. And I think smart coaches, the best coaches, the coaches you should really look for, if you want to have an involvement with your kid, you should look for coaches who have a similar philosophy. They're open and they're willing to work with you, the parent. That's the Prodigy Maker Minute. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like this wisdom, please check out my big show, The Prodigy Maker Show. Also, please subscribe. We have a lot of people who watch the show, but what we found out is that many people forget to subscribe, and that would help our search results and help us grow the channel. And we would like to grow the channel and gain more of a larger community, that would be awesome. So please subscribe if you can. Thank you. See you guys on the next program.